AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you on a Monday morning, 6:05. Let me see. Mel is in studio.
Good morning.
And Johnny is here for a second or two.
Yeah, for a second or two.
Came by, say hello. That's nice of you. Actually, help me with some IT.
Yeah, I'm making sure your
that
stuff
too. And Hyundai of Yuma, they are sponsors of the show or advertisers. And if you want, I need you to take a test drive. Get over there and take a look at that car company out there on 32nd Street. A veteran business, veteran-owned anyway, veteran-owned business. And taking a test drive is the best way to get behind the wheel and see if it's a car you can live with, because that's what you have to do after you buy it. You live with it. I'm surprised, Mel, so many people don't thoroughly check them out. America's Best Warranty is a good way to start. Getting some people that drive them, to, find out what they think and all that. Get behind the wheel, check the ergonomics of it. How's it feel? How's it test? Know that you're getting one of the safest cars out there to avoid accidents, as well as if you happen to be in one. One of the highest rated and least problems. Take a test drive and SUV or a regular car. Truck's coming soon. It's a little one, but we'll let you know what we think.
Looking forward to seeing that.
Me too. Did you have a good weekend, Mel?
Nice, quiet weekend.
Yeah, me too. It's just hot. I've done a little bit of outside stuff, a little bit going on in the last, when Edward was down and all that stuff, and vacationing. Great time. I mean, you don't have to avoid the heat, but I did. I did. I actually just working on cleaning things up around the home front, taking stuff out of cabinets, because I'm not going outside.
No.
Taking stuff out of cabinets, if I haven't used it in a couple years, I'm questioning why do I have it? And
that's the way I feel about stuff. If I haven't used it in the last year, it's like clothes. If I haven't worn them in the last 6 months,
it goes to something else.
Yeah.
Gets out of there. Unless I haven't worn a suit. I may still need one someday.
Well, that's
that one I might keep.
That's different. But,
Yeah, but that Hawaiian shirt's got to go.
Well, Howard will take that.
Yeah, we did a little bit of that. Yeah, Howard will take that. That's right. Something I read in the paper. This was Saturday, July 17th. Few Arizona voter fraud cases discrediting Trump's claims. And that's from the Associated Press. Which, Mel, what they're doing is they're interpreting or reading the audit that's been going on, little bits and pieces of it,
Right.
which is completely out of context.
Well, first of all, wait till we get a final report on it. That's what I want.
Well,
I'm going to reserve any kind of judgment until I get to see the final report.
Yeah, a lot of things we've already read.
Yes.
Are 74,000 votes that came in were never mailed out. And how'd they come in if they were never mailed out? Right. Those kind of things. Yeah. And those are the things we got to wait for.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You get bits and pieces, and what those bits and pieces contain depends on which side of the fence you're on.
Right.
So, like I say, once the final report's done, then we have something to judge, yes or no, or fly a kite.
Correct. Tell them to fly a kite or something. But they keep leaking these reports out, trying to discredit the audit.
Yeah.
And so obviously the Associated Press has a narrative and pushing that, which is unfortunate. A thing about DACA, the DACA, which, was a big issue, a lot of headlines for a lot of years. A judge finally threw it out.
Well, originally,
no headlines.
Originally, it was not legal to start with. It should never have been allowed.
You mean it should have been allowed?
It was done by an executive order.
Right.
And it should have been, if something of that along those lines is going to be done, it should have been done by the legislature. So it was an executive order,
which gives special rights to kids at a certain age, and saying that you can stay.
So when Trump came along, he said, "Wait a minute, it's an executive order. I'm going to
write an executive order and undo it."
Undo it.
Yeah.
And they said, "No, you can't undo that because why not? It was an executive order. That's the only way." And now a judge is saying that it should never have been allowed in the first place.
Right.
Which is what a lot of people. In fact, I think even Obama admitted that he didn't think he was really legitimate. But
they kind of overstepped that thing.
I have a pen and a telephone, and I'm going to do it anyway. So
that's right. Let's take a phone call. Speaking of telephone, you're on the air.
Something smells, doesn't it, Russ? Good morning, Russ.
Good morning. Yes, it does.
Y'all have Y'all have a good weekend?
Well, we did. We're relaxed.
Good. I'm glad you did. So you're strong. I can say what I want to say, right?
There you go.
No, really, in all seriousness, Johnson & Johnson, they say, is causing your immune system to attack your nervous system in some cases.
Yes.
Now, that's what syphilis did. Syphilis, remember, in its final stage, attacked your nervous system, and that was a deadly stage. You couldn't cure it then.
Oh, didn't know.
Oh, well, that's true. That's how Al Capone died of that.
Right.
But for the final stage of syphilis, so once it attacks your nervous system, there's no cure for it, from what I understand. And but anyway, I've never seen anywhere written that there's a cure for it. But that being said, these vaccines now, that's not good for their reputation, because they're saying on these new cases of COVID, they say most of the cases, now hear me verbatim now, most of the cases are people that are not vaccinated. So that means the balance cases are the ones that have been vaccinated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
They're leaving that out. Oh, conveniently, to confuse the American people is part of their indoctrination process. I had told my neighbor, he would brag about it. I said, well, when I walk by your RV and I see it glowing red inside, I won't be knocking on your door.
Okay.
Well, radiation both makes you glow in the dark is my point here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, this audit is about 4, 5, 6 months too late. It really is. It's going to serve no purpose. They're going to water it down. It's going to be like that Gorham report. Oh, we'll wait for it. He's going to put everybody in jail. Nobody. Matter of fact, I don't even think he put a report out, did he?
He has not.
No, he hasn't.
See? So this is just talk. They're buying time to get this North American Union going. And they just about got all the players in place. They have already elected a North American Union president. You knew that, right?
Well, that's what you say, but I don't think
No. What I say, go on the internet. It's all out there. It's all out there. You have to go to Europe. You have to go to Europe because the EU is all behind a partner called the NAU. That would be the North American Union. Because there are going to be 4 diagrams when the one world order gets all done. But yeah, we're in trouble, folks. Ignoring it, it's not going to go away. It won't. This is why I talk.
I'm not ignoring it.
And what's happening is 6 years from now, when I mention it, because I'm going to get around. I don't remember you saying that. I have a brother I had a conversation with this weekend.
Uh-huh.
You know what he says to me, because I try to be a truth sayer, and what I want him to do is counter it with something where I can go look at that. But he doesn't do that. He's got this ready-made answer that so many do when out in the Army. If you don't love it, leave it. Remember that?
Right.
He didn't say these guys that were criticizing certain elements that's wrong with this country, that don't mean they don't love it. The people that are turning their back on the flag, the people that are spitting on the flag, those are the ones they should be deporting.
Of course.
Not the guy that's deciding his First Amendment right, talking about it. If Colin Kaepernick had talked about this instead of kneeling and insulting our flag and anthem, there would be a dialogue, I'm sure. You understand what I'm saying here?
Sure.
But he didn't go to the owners of the NFL behind closed doors and talk about his problem of racism. He didn't do that I know of.
No,
Even when no one leaked the information they did. No, he just blatantly, what they do, they want to slam the things that they know that we care about. It's called erasing American culture, folks, is what it's called. There's nothing wrong with the Confederate flag. I'm going to stand by that because it's a symbol of the Southern battle flag is what it is. It was a country when it seceded. You can erase the arm and sickle, but communism is still there. You follow?
sure.
The little red dot on the Japanese flag, you can erase it, but that country is still there. So I want to tell people, it's the illiteracy, the social arts, it's got us where we are. And people did nothing to change the social arts curriculum in our schools, and no one did anything when Jimmy Carter put in that 10th plank of the Communist Manifesto called the Department of Education. That sucker's got almost $100 billion budget now to educate and indoctrinate these people with their liberal arts education. That's my point.
All right.
So, yeah, good day. Hope I got you started good.
All right, buddy. Thanks. He covered a lot, Mel.
He always does.
Man, you got to keep a scorecard to keep up with it. But I'm going to disagree with him again, Mel. I'm going to make him mad, but I think this audit's a right thing to do. It's not a waste of time. It needs to be done, and we need to get some results for it. And hopefully that'll be the case. But unlike the Durham report, which never happened, they weren't out giving prospects about what he was finding, but they are on this one. They're afraid of this one. And they're constantly putting stuff out there. Johnny, are we on live, on air?
You're live. You're everywhere. I got one thing to say about the audit.
What's that? Only one?
Well, I got a few things, but I don't like that they continue to put out information. I would wait till they have all of their ducks in a row and then bring it forward because...
But they're not really putting out much. I mean, the first time they held something was just last week.
Mm-hmm. YouTube already took it down.
Really? Disinformation? From the guys doing the audit, they call that misinformation?
Yeah, they call it misinformation. They already took it down, so you can't even see it. So it's like every step that they take, it's just getting wiped clean.
But that's the only thing they've done is that one official release.
That's the official one. But yeah, everything's kind of being wiped clean, and then they're discrediting them on every single. So
of course,
I follow the counterpoints on Twitter, so they have a counterpoint for every point they make.
But that's all you can get is counterpoint because they don't have any. They keep taking stuff down.
Yeah, and so, but then all you see is the counterpoint. That's what I'm saying. So you see the point, but then all you get flooded with counterpoint.
But that doesn't mean they need to be quiet. I don't think.
Well, it's tough because it's like your message is only up there for 10 minutes,
doesn't matter.
An hour, and then you're flooded with the misinformation.
I understand, and it makes a difference. But I think a lot of people also see them taking it down. They see that we're being censored.
Not too many people get to see it though.
That's just it. I think Johnny's got a good point. Folks don't
ever say Johnny has a good point.
Well,
I like you, Mel. You can stay.
Don't ever say that.
Well, the thing is, if you hear one side of the argument for 10 seconds, and the other side of the argument for 23 and a half hours. Mm-hmm.
That's just my concern.
Which message is going out to the public?
I understand that is effective, but not.
It's very effective.
Not for those that are really researching and really looking to do things.
Well,
and you would think there would be more people like us.
There aren't that many people.
They're not
that really do that in the public. Yeah. Yes, you do it because number one, you want to be able to put.
I want to know what's going on.
Put good information out over the radio. That's fine, and I do it because I'm interested in what's going on. But most folks. It's like water off a duck's back. They don't really.
They're not engaged.
They're not engaged. They don't know what's going on.
But I think,
they're fat, dumb, and happy.
Don't look at me.
Can you call them fat and dumb?
I guess you can. But that was my one thing. But yes, we're on Twitter. You're on YouTube now. You're on Facebook on both your pages.
When you say Twitter, you mean like Periscope or
Periscope? Twitter. You're on Twitter.
All right.
People can find you on Twitter if they want to watch the broadcast, and we got some surprises and some new things coming.
We just doubled our listenership, probably up to 10 now. Yeah. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
A very persistent southerly flow will mean some rain, not just today, but through much of the week. Only a slight chance of a thunderstorm, though, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Temperatures today, 107. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and known for guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith from the Weather Channel.
At H&R Block, tax time means max refund time. And with virtual tax prep, our experts can help you get your refund from home. Stay in your sweatpants. Just snap some pics of your docs and a tax pro does the work. Your maximum refund is guaranteed, or your money back. Virtual tax prep, one of the many ways Block has your back.
All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
So when you need a hand with your taxes, H&R Block is here for you. Drop off your taxes today at their offices in Yuma, the Foothills, or San Luis, and let their experienced tax professionals help get your taxes won.
Wokeness is destroying America. In just a few months, Biden has taken America from energy independent to gas running out. And now most of us are paying 50 to 75% more at the pump. Arizona, blue ain't your color. This is Dr. Bob Branch with the Power of Fives. Conservative candidates will need an army of volunteers to make this state red again and to defeat wokeness. Please go to thepower5s.com today to find out how to volunteer.
This month, Hyundai of Yuma is out to buy as many used cars as they can to increase their pre-owned inventory. The best part? You don't have to buy a car from them. So no matter how much you owe or how many miles are on your car, just bring it in and get a free car appraisal. It's that simple. It's a quick and easy process. If you like the offer and have the title for your vehicle, they'll give you a check. If you owe money to a lender, they pay it off. Either way, you win. So come in today to Hyundai of Yuma and check out what your car or truck is worth. If you like the offer, then sell it to us. If not, at least you know what it's worth. It's totally free and easy, so come in today and help us achieve our goal to buy 100 pre-owned cars locally. Hyundai of Yuma, located in Yuma, Arizona, the sunniest city on earth, and is a proud, thriving Yuma Strong business. Call them today to set up a free appraisal at 928-344-1100 or just walk in and say, buy my car.
Customer responsible for any negative equity. No accidents on title history. See dealer for details.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. Mel is in studio.
Yes, sir.
And I think it was OG mentioned Johnson & Johnson.
Right.
With the and they're having a little more problems than the others as far as bad
With their vaccine, yeah.
a bad result of the vaccine or something.
Results, yeah.
It's still a very small amount overall. Of course, we can't talk about vaccines being bad. We'll get canceled. That's called misinformation if you don't agree with the narrative, right?
That's it.
But there is some. But I read a report said they're considering bankruptcy, and I thought, wow, it's gotten that bad that fast. But it has nothing to do with the vaccine. It has to do with their baby or talc powder.
There have been ads about that for quite some time.
Yeah, it's been going on. What are we doing now, Johnny?
I'm just saying, can you trust a company that puts cancer in their baby powder?
Now, Johnny, I don't think they intentionally said, "Oh, wait a minute, don't send it out yet. We forgot to add the cancer." And then they didn't do that.
But still, that's
yeah, I don't know what the whole story. It's been going on for a long time. I know, but I mean, did they show something in there that they should have known or something?
Well, I don't know. But they said that a number of women have had.
But they still say it doesn't come from that. They don't. But now they're talking about potentially paying out lower settlements to a smaller company or something. But all that does is get you more cases.
Yeah, right.
They say, "Oh, there's money coming. I got cancer too."
Yeah.
I don't know, but it says that it's talc powder. It denies that it causes cancer, even though it's halted sales of the talc-based products in the U.S. and Canada.
Well, they're forced to. They're almost forced to, but.
Yeah, it's going to pursue a bankruptcy plan. I would assume when they say bankruptcy plan, they're talking about Chapter 11.
Chapter 11, probably, yeah.
Which it doesn't mean they're going to close shop. It just means they're going to make a deal, pretty much. Well, we'll see. But already thinking about bankruptcy, and they got this vaccine, which is supposed to make them a lot of money, and they did. They made billions.
Yeah.
We'll see if it cost them. I don't know. Speaking of COVID, North Carolina has already launched its door-to-door vaccine campaign.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doses to door, because there's just 49% of the residents have received one jab. Now, 49% of residents is pretty darn good now. Half the people said they weren't going to get it anyway.
Yeah.
So they've already gotten at least half in there. And a lot of them are young and aren't eligible, and some aren't eligible for other reasons. Some don't want it. So 49 is pretty good.
It is.
But that's not enough.
Why isn't that enough? Why do you think they're not happy with that number?
Because Joe said 70.
Joe wanted 70%.
So no matter what, we got to get to 70? Is that where we're going as a country?
He doesn't even care if you don't need it.
Not even if you don't need it. There's people with legitimate medical conditions that this would have an adverse effect on them.
That's unacceptable, Johnny.
Does not matter.
It doesn't matter. That's
unacceptable.
I need 70%, and that's it is.
And he's going to come hold you down.
You know, it almost seems that way with the rhetoric these days.
Yeah.
He was asked a question the other day. He's like, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and they are killing people. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Oh, the rhetoric's getting stronger.
It's getting,
And And you got people that have had the COVID, that have the antibodies, that he's ignoring. Those questions, he ignores them. You need the shot anyway.
Well, see, the big argument now is, well, you've got the variant. These different variants that come in.
But the vaccine wasn't written for the variant. It was written for the current.
That's right.
It was written for the old.
Please, you're clouding you're clouding the atmosphere with the truth.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Oh, get him, Mel. Get him. And here,
Damn it.
And like there was the news break before this. They said mostly the unvaccinated. Well, if it's mostly, who's the other people? It's the vaccinated that are getting
right,
it.
exactly.
The vaccines were never 100%.
They were never 100%.
Of course not.
So everything, it's all right. I had somebody yesterday afraid because I wasn't wearing a mask. The Delta variant. And that's what I'm like, no, where everybody's okay. Like, let's just take a deep breath. And like, I'm fine. I got the T cells, the antibodies.
But somebody that tests positive for the vaccine, no big deal.
Virus.
And for this reason, even if you have the vaccine, it doesn't mean you can't have the virus in you. It may not be multiplying or whatever, but it may be in you enough to pass a test. It doesn't mean you're actively sick.
No, it doesn't mean you're sick at all.
No. Yeah. In fact, a lot of people got it. It's all been benign. They haven't been sick. Really? They haven't?
Well,
they're just using it to count numbers and raise.
Right.
It's sort of like shingles.
Raising fear.
Raising the fear. Yeah,
That's
the
what it
fear
is.
mongering.
Well,
Let's take a phone call from Gilbert. Tired of talking to you two. Gilbert, what's going on?
I'm telling you.
What's
telling you. Hey, first of all, whatever happened to our Fourth Amendment?
Gone.
They're going door to door knocking. Yeah, and
Well, they're allowed to knock on. They're allowed to knock on the door.
Yeah, but what happened to the HIPAA law?
Well, the HIPAA law, because we're in an emergency, well, all they're doing is going around and officially just giving information. They're not asking officially.
They're not demanding that you take the shot.
Yeah.
They're saying you should take the shot.
Yeah, they're giving the information.
Giving out information. That's legitimate.
Yeah, legitimately they can do that, but why would you?
Why are we spending our tax dollar money on some BS like this?
Because Joe needs 70%.
They're doing that in LA too, and I saw a video where they came to this person's door and they were actually chased out.
Release the hounds.
Nope. What's that?
Release the hounds. I would.
Yeah, Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah.
That's what's happening. A question: are we having? Is there a county, Yuma County's meeting today? Supervisors meeting?
I do not know. Mel will check it.
What?
Is it Monday or Tuesday? It's Monday.
It's Monday.
We changed it to Monday. Yeah. I don't know if it's today or not. I can't remember.
I saw something, but I tossed my paper out, so that's why I called to ask you. They're talking about raising the funds that, or making funds at the transfer. I think it's legitimate that they, we have to pay a little bit. I mean, we've been in the red for so long.
You mean for the waste transfer, the garbage?
Yeah, 70. Yeah.
Well, I don't like it. Because I think we'll just find more people dumping outside.
I'm afraid so. I think that's.
You know what? The bottom line, they're dumping anyway. So to me, if you're going to do that and you're worried about that, put a big fine. A big fine. I'm sorry, but that's if they need money to operate, let's give them the money. But in the same token, they're talking about spending money on a building.
Big money.
Right?
Big money.
Big money. So, is that a different fund? Are they getting a different fund for that?
No. That just comes out of regular funds, buddy.
I gotta get my glasses.
So then they should think about putting a price on dumping your trash if they're talking about putting a building that they don't need.
Yeah. Well, it's today at 9:00 is your meeting.
Okay, good. I'll go out there and check it out. But anyway, Russ, good show. I had a great weekend, and we even had rain for about 20 minutes the other day.
Oh, be darned. I bet you're outside dancing.
Yeah, my neighbor and I, they moved from Illinois.
Yeah.
They bought the house right next to us, and he was out there pointing at, this is rain? This is really rain?
It happens. It's rare, but it happens.
Yeah. Hey, keep on with the show. And,
all right, buddy.
And Jumping Joe, he's a lost soul anyway. So we got to pray for our commander-in-chief and the rest of them.
All right, buddy.
So they can find their way. Bye.
Be good. And now's Gilbert. We're going to take a quick break. AM 560, KBLU.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
In today's Farm and Ranch headlines from AgNet West, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has released a new strategy guideline for addressing foodborne illness. More after this.
AgNet West Radio Network, your trusted agriculture news provider for the state of Arizona. Stay up to date with accurate local and national agriculture news on this station or by visiting us online at agnetwest.com. Get even more connected by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by searching at AgNet West, and our team of Brian German at Brian German AgNet West and Danielle Leal with at DLeal AgNet West.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us.
All of us.
You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring.
Support us at 4h.org.
Similar to what was done to address E. coli outbreaks related to leafy greens, FDA has released a new Cyclospora Prevention Response and Research Action Plan. FDA noted that Cyclospora has been detected in domestically produced foods in recent years after historically being associated with imported products. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there have been approximately 6,000 cases of Cyclospora in the U.S. over the last 3 years. The new action plan focuses on improving prevention of Cyclospora contamination of foods and better preparing for any potential outbreaks in the future. FDA first documented Cyclospora in domestically grown cilantro in 2018. Soon after, an outbreak of Cyclospora was linked to domestically produced salad mix. The task force that was formed in the aftermath of those detections was responsible for developing the newly released action plan. FDA will be working with industry members on the development of rapid testing methods, as well as identifying ways to more effectively control Cyclospora in the environment and on foods. I'm Brian German for AgNet West Radio Network.
Bill Alexander Flightline Mitsubishi is sending you to Las Vegas to see the King, George Strait. All during the month of July, stop by Flightline Mitsubishi on 32nd Street in Yuma and register to win your chance to see George Strait in Las Vegas in August at T-Mobile Arena. Everyone that enters at Flightline Mitsubishi has a chance for a pair of tickets, a $100 gas card, and a chance at a grand prize with upgraded seats and a $250 gas card. Log on to KTTIFM.com to find out how to get even more chances at winning.
You run a business where you're the expert. When it comes to your website, it's okay to admit you're not the expert. You know you have no training, certainly don't have the time or money to work on it. You'd rather just use the free social sites and let it be. What if I told you there was a way to solve that problem? FreeWebGuys.com will build you a free website personalized for your business, and all you pay is hosting, marketing on Google, and you get guaranteed leads every month. Go to FreeWebGuys.com and get your free website for your business right now.
Be sure to listen for the border and traffic reports weekdays on this station, brought to you by RV World. They have a large selection of both new and used RVs. Exit Interstate 8 at Araby Road, then west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. That's RV World.
There's something happening here. It is
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you on a Monday mornings. 6:34. Mel's with me.
Good morning.
I start talking about the North Carolina. They're going the doses to door vaccine. I said door to door. It's doses to door vaccine campaign. Now the South Carolina governor Henry McMaster tried to block it unsuccessfully. I guess I don't know how you can block it anyway. It's just information.
As long as it's just information. If they start demanding things of the people, that's another story.
Jen Psaki said the failure to provide adequate public health information, including the efficiency of vaccines and the accessibility of them to people across the country, including South Carolina, is literally killing people. So maybe they should consider that. Okay, I've considered it, Jen. Yes. Not doing it. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
All right, so they're going to go door to door.
Yeah.
Just for information, from what we've already seen in the news with this administration and all that the Democrats are up to, I don't see it as just information. I see it as in, we know now that you are not vaccinated. We'll take that information, throw it into the database, and then in 6-8 months from now, when we push it even harder, we're going to come in and arrest you unless you take it.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. Unfortunately, you might be right. They may be out there, gathering information more
That's
than
what
just
they've been
giving
doing. Well, Google's been doing it. Facebook's been doing it.
Yeah.
What's going to stop them now? That we had the conversation not too long ago that Facebook, if you are working with the government, you're no longer a private entity. You are a government entity. And what are they doing? They're working hand in hand.
Yeah.
So it's not going to stop them from knocking on the door going, well, we see that you have not taken it since the last time we talked. Come on out with us, and we would like to take you out in this little black vehicle here.
And it's not illegal for them to keep track of that information. That's private health stuff.
But they're still going to do it, Russ. You know that.
And it's not legal for Facebook and all these other ones doing it. What's stopping them?
Yeah.
No one.
And the Facebook misinformation, campaign, which really misinformation doesn't mean accuracy or true. It just means it's not acceptable to the issues we're trying to push.
Well, doesn't Mike Lindell and Trump's hooked up with somebody that have their own platform now? That should be, pushed even a little harder on. Get onto their platforms because, they cannot shut them down at this point.
I like that you added at this point because who knows? So many strange things have been happening.
It has, but there's other platforms that have come up that are not attached to Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. So you guys have a wonderful morning.
You too, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah. See, the North Carolina, well, let me see, I've got that all covered, but in this article, they talk about the number of doses in the county was 77,774 and 72,000 second shot, but they still say it's not enough. They're just going on. One of the volunteers says, we're not confrontational. It's not like you have to get the shot. Well, then why are you doing it?
Yeah.
But our job is to dispel rumors and things. We get people that will say, yes, I will get the shot, but the follow-up has always been the issue. Will they go? How can we get the people to go out and go? So now the health department is out with us. We miss that middleman. So door to door, and they really feel like they're dispelling misinformation.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case, Mel.
Well,
I don't believe it is.
They're putting out what they want to put out. It's just that simple. We know that.
They're going to give us information that gets people out. That's it.
It's a simple thing. When they come to the door, say no, thank you, goodbye.
Yeah,
and that's it. I mean,
but I think it's
down the complex where I live has a no solicitors sign. I'm wondering if this falls under the heading of soliciting.
Well, but Mel, this is important because it's for your health, so it's not soliciting. I'm with you. I'm curious as to what they're going to be doing.
I'm going to wait and see.
Yeah.
I mean, first time one of them knocks on the door, I'm going to call the main office and say, okay, what's the deal? You let this guy on?
Yeah.
If he can solicit, then
anybody.
Then I can go in and start, doing my thing. So.
As Phyllis writes me, says they can knock on the door till the cows come home. There's no law that says I have to answer it.
That's true.
You're right, Phyllis. You don't have to answer the door. And I hope you don't. On a different issue, U.S. Border Patrol, they're talking a little bit about the numbers as they increase.
Mm-hmm.
25% from last month, even though the heat's increased. Wow. Pretty significant stuff. I don't know if you noticed, but it's hot out there.
Yes,
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Russ, let's talk about polio real quick here.
Make it quick.
Once infected, there is no specific treatment for polio. In 2018, there were 33 cases of polio in this country. But here's what you did not know, and the media didn't tell you. In 1988, there were over 350,000 cases of polio in this country in 1988.
You're right. I never knew that.
No, of course not. The same thing going on with this COVID crap. Don't believe anything the government tells you. Go see your doctor. see what your doctor tells you. That's who I would be listening to. That's what I want to get out.
I'm agreeing. All right, buddy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Absolutely. And I think that the deal with polio must be there's less of it. It's dying. You know, we're getting immunities and herd immunities.
Herd immunity is built up, probably, sure.
Yeah. But a lot of cases. I know in the world it's not, it's still pretty big in some parts of the world. It's still out there, but not in this country. But in the on the border encounters, the migrants and families have increased. In June, it increased by 25% from the previous month. And that's even though it's getting hotter. So, Mel, there's no slowing down. Of course, I had the...
There's not going to be any slowing down until we decide to do what Trump was doing.
Build
the fence and let the border patrolmen do their job.
Yeah, let them do their job. I had the border chief in here last week, which is always wonderful to have him. And they're not seeing any indication of it slowing down from their intelligence. It's looking in foreign countries as the whole trains of people moving up and all that.
Well, not just from their intelligence, from what's happening on the border. They're not blind.
Well, they can see what's happening on the border today, but their intelligence is looking beyond the weeks.
It's
weeks
get
beyond.
worse. Yeah,
it's not slowing down.
Right.
It's not trickling off. So we're still in for a lot of problems coming up. And this is administration. The administration now that is wanting to cancel. And I forget which one it is, but part of that program that Trump put in that allows them to turn them back for COVID and all that, they want to cancel that.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're going door to door because it's so dangerous out there.
Yep.
They want to cancel the part of the illegal immigrations that come in and get turned back because of COVID issues or whatever. So administration, they desperately want more people in this country.
Yes. As quick as they can.
And it's not coming in fast enough.
Wow.
And they say they're concerned about COVID enough to send people door to door, but not enough to stop the border bringing the COVID in.
Bringing it in, no.
Yeah. Just absolutely amazing hypocrisies. Richard Sprague's on the front page of our Sunday paper.
Saw that.
Addressing the ammo shortage. That ammo shortage has been going on for a year or better. And it's not because they can't make it. They're making it better more than they've ever had. There's just people wanting it, storing it, getting it, and all that kind of stuff.
For whatever.
With the exception, according to this article, as far as the shells for the dove season, there was a shortage, or there was some hiccups in the manufacturing in Texas when they had the power outages.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we're still suffering from that. And really, because that only lasted for a week. But the chemicals are used in making some of the plastic wad columns, and even the shells themselves have been affected by the freeze in Texas and what happened back in February. Didn't know that. So there's also a transportation thing going on, which we know that truck drivers are in short supply. We need more of them. But I didn't even realize there was a supply problem. I just thought there was a demand problem.
Yeah.
So many people wanted it and all that kind of stuff. But apparently it's a little bit of both. But they could sell more ammo if they get their hands on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I don't think this Biden administration is making anybody calm, thinking, well, don't worry about ammo. Everything's going to be good now. We're supporting the police again, and we're stopping the illegals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's not it. Mayhem is continuing to ramp up. And the Biden administration is in charge of that parade.
They have done nothing to calm the fears of the people, that's for sure.
No. Let's take another phone call. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning. This is Lou out in the foothills.
Good morning, Lou.
Today's paper, actually it's almost a third of the page, the Pennsylvania election audit gets GOP campaign trail embrace.
Uh-huh.
So in that article, there's at least 7 places where they demean the Arizona election audit.
Correct.
It is just insane how much they can find to turn it around is amazing to me. But they use you awful GOP party officials. Says some of the GOP party officials and donors squirming with discomfort They're privately worried that the spectacle of a protracted election audit is a time bomb.
Well,
so just be careful. It's going to explode out there.
well, that should give you some clues as to the bias that they hold as they're writing that article. That's all.
Yes. The Arizona Clown Show is another way they put it on there.
Well, let's put on the big shoes and join in. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And Trump's election fraud claims, it's just at least seven in that article. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I thought I'd point that out if you hadn't read it.
Well, we did read it, but it's discouraging. But they're putting double time effort in trying to discredit this thing. They're afraid of the results. That's it.
They are.
Otherwise, they would just ignore it. If it was really a clown show, they'd ignore it because it wouldn't make any difference.
Well, if it was a Democrat clown show, they certainly would ignore it. But I'm not sure they would ever do it with Arizona. But they're going to make it a clown show by keeping that. And it's just weird to me. But anyway, our paper is. I'm sure they're all nice people or whatever, but they definitely show their slit every day.
They do. All right, man.
Okay. Have a nice day, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
If it was a Democrat clown show, it would be getting all the positive press in the world.
Well, yeah, we've had those.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
It's unfortunate, but the media is no longer an unbiased or an information portal. It's a propaganda portal. And that's all there is to it.
We'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
Tune in each morning for the Fox News Rundown, brought to you by Yuma International Airport, home to 4 car rental agencies that are open early and close late, giving you more bang for your buck. Yuma International Airport, we've got your travel covered.
Be sure to listen to 560 KBLU every Friday morning from 8 to 9 for Money Talk, bringing you the latest information and changes in the world of finances. Brought to you by the partnerships of Academy Mortgage and Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management.
Are you struggling to find quality employees? Tired of placing the same old Sunday classifieds or getting lost in the online job boards and getting the same results? Then you need to call us today at 344-4980 and put radio to work for you. It's fast. Place an ad today and have it on air tomorrow. Whether you're looking for hourly workers or to fill highly specified job descriptions, placing an ad on radio will help you fill these positions quickly. Call 344-4980 today and put radio recruitment to work for you.
If the pandemic's taught us anything, it's that the easiest way for germs to get into your body is the nose. We all know how to wash our hands, but how do you clean your nose? For over 2 million Americans, the answer is Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs that cause congestion, colds, and flu, so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. Better yet, Navage is all natural and drug-free. That's why one of America's top respiratory hospitals recommends nasal irrigation to stay healthy, explaining that bacteria and viruses thrive in warm and moist environments and that you can wash away those germs so they don't make your nose their home. Experience Navage at zero risk. Go to Navage.com, buy Navage, and use it for a month. If you're not delighted, return it for a full refund. There's nothing to lose and a lifetime of better breathing to gain. Also available at Target, Walgreens, CVS, Bed Bath, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. It's Monday morning. Man, sorry, 6:49 now. Time flies. 2 more Texas Democrats have tested positive for COVID-19 after they were fleeing the election vote. Now it's up to 5 now. We've got 5 of them. And a couple questions come to mind. The Democrats are seem to be the one that are more pro-vaccine even. And that's been since Trump left. When Trump was in, they were anti-vaccine because Trump was president.
Because Trump was behind it.
Yeah. Now it's pro-vaccine. So something happened to these 5. Either they've already had the vaccine and they got it anyway, or they just never took the vaccine. Yeah. I wonder which one it was. But I'll talk more about it. Let me take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Mel and Russ. How are we doing today?
We're doing well, Carl.
You were just talking about the election and how that was going in the count and all that.
Uh-huh.
Well, Daniel Woods, he's been right in the middle of all of that, so he actually really knows what's going on. And we don't know what a date's going to be, but he has promised to come down to one of our Tea Party meetings and just kind of give us a heads up on what's really going on. So
Right.
And Daniel Woods is doing this because he was always kind of we the people person, and he wants to talk to the people that want to know what the hell is going on. So that's what he's doing. And so people that are really interested, you can find out what's going on, and you can go watch MSNBC some more. So.
Well, there is a lot going on they're not telling you.
Well, yeah. They're censoring it.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to me that has something to do with the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm. What?
Am I right or wrong? I don't know.
Well, the First Amendment means the government can't get involved in blocking information, but they're getting Facebook to do it.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Get the private companies to do their dirty work for them.
Yeah, and it's also illegal, but it's just take a while to get through the courts, that's all.
Well, here's something I have never been able to understand. It's a private business. They can do what they want to do. But if I have a person baking a cake and he doesn't want to bake that cake the way somebody wants him to bake it, he goes to jail.
Well, they never went to jail. They just got sued, but yeah.
He got sued. So what the hell? What is the difference? I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh, well, we can go through it, but I'm going to go.
But it ain't worth it. And here's the other thing that doesn't make sense to me. Russ Clark, he gets to have his granddaughter go to preschool and never miss a day, and my grandson, he missed a whole year of school, and my granddaughter missed the prom and the graduation.
Yeah, well, that's
who do we thank for that kind of BS?
Well, it's private school that my daughter was going to is why, and I agree with you. They should have been in school, but they weren't.
Yeah.
That was martial law, buddy.
Yes.
Well, to me, that was more of how do you control the sheep?
Yep.
Because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, we were trying to do everything right for you, taking away all your liberties, and because we want to do the right thing, it was all wrong. It was all wrong.
Yeah. And what the hell are we doing? We have a president that just opened the gates on our borders, and we can't do anything about it.
Well, not only that, he opened the gates, but in most places he didn't let the gates be put up. Man, the gates are laying on the ground.
Yeah, we left them on the ground. Now
we can do something about it. It takes a lot of time, and they know that.
Yes,
that's exactly right.
Yes.
You know, I'm sorry. I got a high school education, but none of this makes sense to me.
Well, it's not supposed to.
And I haven't had anybody that made sense to. Is why you should open up our borders the way you do.
But you're looking at it all wrong, Carl. You are assuming they have the same results in mind that you and I would support. That's not it. You got to look through Joe's eyes. Joe wants chaos. He wants mayhem. He wants to distract the American voter. He wants more illegals in to flood the system, to become voters, to make sure that the Democrats get the majority of the votes, because he's liberated these people from foreign countries. So if you look at it the right way, of course it makes sense. It makes perfect sense if that's what your goals are.
What you're trying to tell me then is I need to put the Constitution on the shelf and get on my Sal Alinsky rules for radicals.
Nope, you're not. I'm not. I'm just telling you how to make sense of it.
That's exactly what the progressives have wanted. Going back to Woodrow Wilson,
right?
Is don't worry about the Constitution. Just let us run the country. We have experts that will make the decisions for you. That's what the whole thing's about.
Well, Joe's already told you all that. He's already told us all that.
And that's it. His agenda and your agenda are never going to meld. They're never going to agree.
Right.
Okay?
So
that's the problem. So it goes back to we, the people, that are going to have to do something.
Well, which one do you want? You want to talk Constitution? You want to talk whether it makes sense for Joe to do it? They're two different things.
Well,
Joe's not following it. You're trying to tie it all together. Take them one step at a time.
You know what, Carl? It starts right down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right down at the bottom. You need to start looking at who are you electing to school boards? Who are you electing to these other little dinky boards around that people just take for granted, and start from there and work your way up. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Well, to fix it, Mel. But what he's talking about is making sense of it.
Well, you can't make sense of it because
you can.
Because it's
you can.
Oh, the only
Yeah, you can.
It's his.
I just told you how.
It's his agenda, and that's what he wants.
Exactly. That's exactly why it makes sense because it's him.
He believes.
Yeah.
It's what he believes in. Right. I mean, you believe in freedom. He doesn't. He believes in control.
That's exactly right. That's why it makes sense.
He thinks he can take care of my life better than I can.
Exactly, he does. Exactly.
Because you're not smart enough.
They thought, look, that has been the way things have been going for the past 100 years.
We need big government, buddy. According to them, not us. According to them.
You're not smart enough to make decisions for yourself. Yeah. You need me up in the government to make those decisions for you. That's his whole. It's what he believes. It's his core belief.
Right.
Yeah. So now,
and so the only way you're going to change it is you're going to have to get somebody up in charge who believes in freedom and liberty for people.
That's right. But we need to understand that, number one, so we know how to fix it. Don't start thinking he thinks like us, because he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Well, it proves that. To me, I thought it was pretty neat to have a country that was energy independent. I thought it was pretty nice to be running around on $2 a gallon diesel.
Well, a country that's energy independent will never make the radical changes he wants made. He has got to destroy us so he can build back better. And that's in his mind, build back better.
Exactly right.
Right?
Anyway, hey, guys.
All right, buddy.
You know what? The only thing we can do is just give him hell.
That's right. Take care, man.
Day.
Bye-bye. Carl, he wears me out.
Well, Carl's trying to look at things logically. And Biden doesn't look at things logically. He looks at it through his rose-colored glasses.
He looks at it through a logic we don't understand,
exactly,
but it is logically to him.
Well,
but to him, he wants to tear it down. Logically, he's doing the best he can.
Yeah.
Logically, that's the way I'd do it. That's the way I would tear up the country.
His best is done too good. I sure don't want to see the worst.
I think he's done well. Yeah. He's done well following his plan.
Doing what he wants to see happen. He's done a great job.
Yeah.
He's an A++ for destruction. For destroying the country.
Absolutely. Getting back, these Texas Democrats have tested positive for COVID. And there's 5 of them total. They were seen on the airplane ride with no mask, which is a violation of.
Well, I'm like you. I'm with you though. I want to know, did they or did they not get the shot? And if they did, and they still come down with it, then what good is the shot?
Well, I would suspect they didn't get the shot, but it's hard to. As a Democrat that's being embraced by Biden, that's a tough one.
It is. It is.
Greg Abbott says he's going to continue to call for special sessions until the Democrats return. And Abbott say the Democrats be arrested when they arrive back, which would be nice because then when they're on the floor, you can tell easily who's a Democrat and Republican by who has the handcuffs.
Yeah. There you go. The striped shirt.
Easy to point them out when that happens, when they come back. But they're treated like heroes, which is kind of weird. They're going to fancy parties and dinners and staying in hotels, and then they're crying like they're victims.
Yeah.
They had to walk out with, literally nothing. Well, they arrived at the airport with suitcases and Miller beer.
Yeah. I would like to know what the average man on the street down in Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio.
Think about the whole thing.
Think about what the heck's going on, what their legislators are doing.
I would,
and I don't want the people that George Stephanopoulos is going to want to interview. I mean,
just
regular people. Go around and talk to random people.
Yep.
Find out what they think.
I'm sure someone's done it, but I haven't seen any reports on that.
Yeah, because the report isn't what the agenda isn't what they want. That doesn't fit the narrative that they want.
Gotta be careful with that cancel culture out there, man. You don't want to upset those guys.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. It's top of the hour. AM 560 KBLU.
From the 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating Studio, this is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
Economy's COVID recovery later this morning, but on Wall Street there's a big sell-off. The Dow has been down more than 500 points. The president has released his first prisoner from Guantanamo, Abdul Latif Nasir, captured fighting against the U.S. 20 years ago, but was never charged. The Obama administration recommended in 2016 he be released, and now he's being sent back to his home country of Morocco. 39 terrorist suspects remain in Gitmo. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. And there it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The big hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text BELT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BELT to 42424. That's BELT to 424.
Bill Alexander Flightline Mitsubishi is sending you to Las Vegas to see the King, George Strait. All during the month of July, stop by Flightline Mitsubishi on 32nd Street in Yuma and register to win your chance to see George Strait in Las Vegas in August at T-Mobile Arena. Everyone that enters at Flightline Mitsubishi has a chance for a pair of tickets, a $100 gas card, and a chance at a grand prize with upgraded seats and a $250 gas card. Log on to KTTIFM.com to find out how to get even more chances of winning.
At Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management, they believe they manage money for their clients differently from many other advisors in Yuma. Their way works in close alignment with their clients' goals. Yuma Investment Group is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor. When it comes to helping clients pursue a comfortable retirement, they're clearly different. Visit YumaInvestmentGroup.com and find out why investors switch to them. Investment advisory services offered through CWM LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Sprague Sports is Yuma's hunting and shooting headquarters. Why? Because Sprague Sports is the difference. Where else can you buy, sell, trade, or consign firearms with free expert appraisals always? There is nothing like Sprague Sports. With 64 years of industry connections to have products in stock when others can't. And all Sprague firearms come with a lifetime warranty. And talk about customer service. There's a gunsmith always on duty. Sprague is your Remington Warranty Center, and when you need it, there's expert one-day sight-in service. But that's not all. Sprague Sports has got training courses, including Arizona
Arizona CCW, First Shot, Hunter Education, and more. Sprague's handles Glock, Blue Label pistols, and is your NFA dealer in suppressors and full autos. That's why we call them the experts. And Sprague's is Yuma's Yeti headquarters. The best Yeti selection and free ice for life. Sprague's has a 10-lane, rifle-certified indoor shooting range and gun rentals. You can try before you buy. Serving Yuma's shooting and outdoor needs since 1956. That's the Sprague's difference.
Sprague's, 32nd Street, next to Lowe's.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you, and Mel is in studio.
Yep.
And Hyundai of Yuma sponsors the show. Also, out there on 32nd Street, go by, give them a test drive. Veteran-owned business that's been around for a while, handling, some of the best cars in the business because they're America's best warranty, and that would be the Hyundai as well as the Kia. And what's the other one? The Genesis. The Genesis. I'm sorry. The Genesis. Got all three of them. J.D. Powers lists them as cars with the fewest problems because they don't get returned back to the new car dealer for corrections and little things that go wrong with new cars, like, this wasn't installed right or something. They get the fewest, all three of them, all sister companies all together. But take a test drive. Find out why they're America's best warranties and they're comfortable. And that's what you want. You want the right car that feels good. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if it's got no warranty issues. I don't like it. Now, these you'll find very, very much within the likable range. We just talked about the Texas Dems who walked out, last hour.
Right.
And they left Texas so that you can't get a quorum when they call the House to order. Quorum, you can't vote.
Right.
No voting means they can't pass the election law. And that election law is to make it safer, more secure, and more accessible, all three. They're claiming it's Jim Crow at its worst. It's trying to exclude people, which is all lies. And in fact, I don't know which one it was, but one of the shows asked Democrats, what part of that law in there would you like to strike? What is in that law that you find makes it harder to vote? I couldn't find any.
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
No.
The only thing they object to, I guess, is the closing of the loopholes that allow the cheaters.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that they don't like. So they want to make sure we keep that door open for cheating, a possibility of cheating, unfortunately. Well, Senator Graham is not looking at it all too terribly. In fact, he's looking at it with some lessons learned.
Yeah, he's talking about boycotting also, right?
Well, yeah, because Biden has a budget committee that reached an agreement on a $3.5 trillion budget spending package. Now, Graham says he would support $950 billion, not a $3.5 trillion. Less than a third of that's what's necessary. The rest of it is all socialistic programs to give to the states and all that stuff. And he's against it, but he also said that he would leave. He calls the package, in fact, let me just give you a quote. Tax and spend dream of the socialist left. And he commented that during the Democrats sending packages and said that on an exclusive interview the other day, he said that if needed, he will follow the lead of the Texas House Democrats who fled their homes in an effort to kill the GOP bill. Yeah. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Morning, Doc in the Foothills.
Good morning, Doc.
Talking to my oldest son, who's an intensive care physician back east.
All right.
And he and I both have come to the conclusion, I think it's time we got rid of the CDC. They are so politically correct. You can't believe anything that any of the numbers are putting out. You're not hearing about all the blood problems. You're not hearing about all the heart problems. You're not hearing about all the deaths. How 47% of the people getting COVID now are fully vaccinated, which goes to show you it's not a vaccine. It's just something else to inject in your muscles. It's really sad. And from a real good source down here, I won't mention his name, but apparently they're finding a lot of Cubans coming through the border here, and they're shipping them to Florida.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that from other sources, too, but yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Well, you know why they do that? It's because Morocco, what's his name, the Secretary for Homeland Security.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I forget his name. I'm screwing it up. But anyway, he's in a boat offshore there looking for him. They intercept him, but they're not coming by boat. They're flying to Mexico.
Flying to Mexico and then coming across the border.
And then they're blaming us for Cuba's problem because we've had a boycott on for 60 years.
Yeah.
Well, they're trading with every other country in the world,
right,
except us. How are we to blame?
Well, because we don't give them aid like we do other countries. That's what it is. It's not the trade so much. We don't give them foreign aid. Yeah.
That's got to stop. When you give foreign aid to, say, some of these countries in Africa, I know from not firsthand, but from people that have been there, when the food comes out, it's the haves that get it, and maybe the ones that need it, the have-nots, are lucky if they get any.
Yeah,
it all goes to the ones with the army or the most guns or the most power and most influence. And it's what other country in the world takes our people's money, our taxpayers' money, and gives it to another country?
Not a lot.
No, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
No,
it just floors me. Okay, I'll get off the.
All right, buddy. Be good.
Okay.
Let's see, it's Mayorkas, Secretary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he's going to stop them, intercept them. Not let them. Now, see, this is an administration that is welcoming all illegals, unless you're an interpreter for Afghanistan or you're in Cuba looking for liberty,
trying to get away from a dictatorship. Yeah.
They might vote Republican.
Yeah.
Can we be any more transparent here?
Yeah.
Can we be any more? They've thrown the gates down on the ground, literally.
Yep.
Invited everybody over, except for the interpreters in Afghanistan. Go ahead and get killed. We'd rather have you dead than in our country.
Yeah.
Because you helped our U.S.
Thank you for your service. Goodbye.
Yeah, you helped our U.S. government for a decade. So go ahead and get shot and murdered. We don't care. And those guys in Cuba waving American flags and asking for liberty, you're not welcome. You might as well get killed too.
You're on the wrong side of the street. Yep.
But the ones that are claiming asylum with no real means other than I'd rather be here than there, come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in. Get some free stuff while you're here. Just a travesty the way we're handling all of this. All of this is being handled just terribly. In Tucson, there was a shooting. 2 dead and several injured. Now, not a lot of details here, Mel, but the details we do get is not good. Apparently, some guy who is upset for some reason decided to shoot at 2 EMT personnel and shot 2 of them, one in the arm and chest, the other one in the head. Both are, I think, in critical condition. And then he fled, a 35-year-old, that's why it says he's a 35-year-old. He fled in an SUV, and he arrived at the scene of a structure fire where the firemen were putting it out and started shooting multiple rounds at the fire department personnel and neighbors. Killed one of the neighbors, and I guess 2 of them died. 2 others, fire captain and another bystander, were both grazed by bullets. Police eventually exchanged gunfire with the shooter. At one point, tried to ram his car into a police vehicle.
Yeah,
this happened in Tucson. Yeah. And
the suspect is in the hospital.
Yeah, he's in the hospital. Apparently, he got beat up or something. He'll probably sue the police department. But no telling. It doesn't say what was going on with him. It doesn't say anything about him.
Well, he was shot. They did shoot him anyway.
I don't even know his race, which makes me think he's not white. Normally on any report anymore, they have to include race. But then I get nervous when I don't see a race listed.
Yeah,
it should be the other way around. I should be wondering why they put a race in and not why they left it out. But they left the race out now, so there must be something they're covering up if they didn't put the race down. Because that's who we are now as a country. We got to list the race first. We'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
Here's an update on the wait times for passenger vehicles in the standard lanes at our selected ports of entry. At Calexico East, it's gone down to no delay right now. San Luis has increased its wait up to 45 minutes to cross with one lane open. Still 20 minutes at Calexico West with 6 lanes open. Still awaiting Algodones. For detailed up-to-the-minute wait times for the ready lanes, century lanes, commercial traffic, and pedestrians, go to our station website or bwt.cbp.gov. bwt.cbp.gov. The Border Report brought to you by RV World, located on Gila Ridge Road. Exit Interstate 8 on Araby Road, then head west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. RV World, Yuma's premier recreational vehicle dealer since 1991, offering a large selection of new and used RVs.
Arizona is officially reopened for business. Are you doing what you can to invite people to come see your business, call your business, or visit your business's website? Don't assume that because customers knew about you before, that they continue to know about you now. Maybe you dropped out of the market. People's habits may have changed. New people have moved to our region. Don't wait to start re-inviting people to do business with you. Learn how at yumaadvertising.com.
Summer heat is on the way. Time to check or replace your air conditioning system. This is Russ Clark from my friends at Quick Refrigeration. Yes, new systems are still 30 to 40% more efficient than a unit 10 years old. So call Quick Refrigeration, your trusted technician, keeping you cool since 1955. Also, experts in plumbing and tankless water heaters. Don't wait until your AC system goes down. Call the best in town, Quick Refrigeration.
Quick refrigeration, quick refrigeration. We get you cool quick.
Great news for people who receive WIC benefits. The Arizona WIC program is increasing your benefits to $35 per month to buy more fruits and vegetables. Now you can buy even more sweet potatoes, bagged salads, oranges, apples, and so much more with your Arizona eWIC card. Did you know that canned and frozen fruit and vegetables can be stored for months and are easy to add to your favorite meals? If you have any questions, visit azwic.gov or call 1-800-252-5942 to find out more about this change. This institution is an equal opportunity provider.
You have a website for your business?
I just use Facebook. I don't have time to make a website. Keep it up. All that work. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I used to think that, but I found freewebguys.com and they built my website for free. They host it, maintain it, and even market it for me. Now I'm getting new leads from it every month.
That sounds too good to be true. What's the catch?
No catch. You get a free website from freewebguys.com. All you pay is hosting, marketing on Google, and you get guaranteed leads every month.
Where do I get this again?
Get a free website built for your business at freewebguys.com.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. It's Monday morning, 7:17. Mel's in studio. I also have a truck driver on the line. Mike, how are you doing, buddy? That's awesome. I like it a lot. What's going on, sir?
I left my boots and cowboy hats at home. I'm in Dumas, Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas? You don't have your boots with you?
No, everybody has boots but me.
Oh, my God. Well, you're going to have to do something to change all that, my friend.
Oh, man. Say, there's a couple of things that I've learned over the weekend. I actually knew them before, but I didn't have verification of it.
All right.
It'll probably never hit the news, but it's still news. Do you want to go through that real quick? I mean, it's
shoot. Let's see. I'll hang up on you if it's not worthy.
When has my stuff not been worthy?
All right, go ahead.
Redstone, Alabama, is a military base for parts for the Abrams tank. Give you an idea, the Abrams tank is the most technology advanced, best tank in the world.
Right.
Trump spent $1.5 trillion putting parts and ammo into the U.S. military system because they didn't have any. What they did is they were going out to the storage areas of large amounts of military equipment they couldn't use and taking parts off that.
Yeah.
So Trump came in and restocked everything. My cousin says that he works there. They came out with a 30-day policy of anything not used by the U.S. military needs to be scrapped, salvaged, and sold. So stuff has been just, out of the military graveyard, just been coming up gone. The Abrams tank, of course, has some very valuable military metal blends, stuff that nobody else has.
All right.
Anyway, they have storage buildings full of ammo, buildings full of parts. When Biden took office, that was all full. They're half full now. The stuff is being sold.
Why? Just getting rid of it.
He would like to know that. The parts, there's 3 salvage companies that handle the military contracts.
Uh-huh.
And the parts, for example, the Abrams tank, everything is made to come out during a failure, a slide out, just a quick slide out. So they don't fix it. They slide it out real quick and put another new part in.
Right.
They fix it later somewhere else. So we're talking about a vast amount. Like the Abrams tank tanks 8 gallons of fuel just to go 1 mile. But the performance is out of this. It's number 1 in the world. Anyway, all that stuff's coming up missing. It's being sold. It's part of that 30-day, we're not using it, so get rid of it. He is not, my point is, he is not just going through the military with woke personnel. He's going through the arms also and gutting it out. This is on purpose.
Yeah, but that's scary.
Yeah. He came to work Monday, found out his stuff was gone. It has been sold. He does. When you watch the experiments for military, like YPG had those solar airplanes for a while.
Yeah.
That they were doing. He would film that with drones, and you could watch it real time anywhere in the world, like the Pentagon and the White House. So you never knew who was watching the experiments, maneuvers, you could say. That was his job. And he came to work, and the drone's there, but all the stuff you put in it, it's not there anymore.
Doesn't make sense.
You know what? This is willful.
Yeah.
What's going on? Somebody is benefiting. There's a money trail somewhere. There's one other item. You were talking about how people are being handed out things. New York has approved $15,000 for illegals. And
wow.
People are just now finding out, and they are up in arms. This is New York State. There's a gag order for Arizona voting coming out from anything coming out of, if you'll notice, there's hardly anything coming out of the Associated Press, which is back east. So anybody that's back east, most news headquarters are in that area. They can't get it. The courts are immediately serving them with orders not to talk about it. The other thing they're really pushing is the pictures that are on Biden's computer. Sean Hannity has a show. It's a 30-minute show he puts in on Saturday. And they came to visit him at his headquarters there in New York, wanted to know if he had any pictures of Biden. They're after the pictures of no clothes with M&Ms all over him and prostitutes and things. For some reason, it's an all stops to keep it out off the air. Gag orders, legal stuff. They're serving them papers.
To Sean Hannity.
Yeah, he announced that Saturday he has like a 30 or 40-minute news clip that he does on the weekend. I think he pre-records it, and it runs on the weekend. It's on that one on there.
Wow.
I didn't know about the Arizona gag until about 2 weeks ago, and if you notice, anything from back east, when you get news on Arizona, it's a news place not from back east, and they didn't get it off Associated Press. These people are censoring pretty much everything we're seeing and doing, and they're being obvious. Like this week, they admitted to working with big tech. I thought big tech, when Biden got elected, that they were just doing this all themselves. They didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're all working together, hands in hand.
They're directing Facebook. Well, correct.
Do you remember that this week he said misinformation kills people?
Right.
Which means they're going to censor. They're moving from Facebook, which last week I called in and said they're moving from Facebook right into your cell phone. They're going to go right into your text and right into your conversations. because, quote, misinformation kills people.
Yeah, they're taking that out of the CCP. That's a page out of the CCP. Yeah.
They're teaching CCP new tricks.
Yeah.
This censorship, and it's talk about in your face. He's using the argument of domestic terrorism and foreign terrorism. My duty is to protect you from that. I'm to protect you from misinformation, which is, quote, domestic terrorism. And who is the domestic terrorist? We know who that is. It is the white supremacist, which is the Trump voter.
Well, and Biden has stated that on many times.
Yeah, none of this that I'm quoting you, we can go through and pick it out. Hey, where this happened, where that happened. Everything I've said to you, go through there and pick that up. Really, the only new stuff is the military parts and the fact that they're moving into the cell phone area using the same technology they use with Facebook.
Well, I haven't been edited yet on air, but maybe it's coming. I don't know.
Well, just stay away from the pictures. You know, I mean, there's plenty of emails. They just, those pictures, though, really, you know, the stuff that's going on in there that, and you know what? I think all 50 states should be able to talk about the Arizona audit. Why are you so pressed to keep all that quiet coming off the Associated Press? It's like they're standing there in the Associated Press. You can talk about this. You can't do this. You can do that. You can't do.
The AP is putting out articles that discredit it. Yes. That's about it.
Yes.
But they're not talking about the facts.
No.
That's there's a gag order on that from back east, not out west. So when you get something, look at it, you'll see it. Oh, that's from California, or this is from Arizona. There's a Texas bumper sticker. You'll like it. It says, "Do not California my Texas."
Yeah. Well, apparently in this audit, they got 74,000 votes from an absentee ballots that were never mailed out, but we got the votes in.
I forget.
Now, how does that happen?
I forget the number of ballots that have no number on it at all.
Yeah.
No, that little number on the bottom. There's no number on it at all. I forget how many. And they say that Arizona is one of the lower states for corruption compared to the other four.
Well, we've got some problems in Maricopa, but they keep trying to downplay it, discredit it, and all that stuff. I hope they come out with a report. But it's going to be a few months. They're really putting some stuff together, and they don't even have all the information yet. They want to get the routers, which is going to really show them a lot of what time things happen and everything.
You know everything we've just talked about in the last 10 minutes?
Yep.
I never thought would happen in the U.S.
Me either. Oh, we're in new territory. Stuff I never would have suspected.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
This is new territory.
Yeah. Yeah. We got people pushing us to Marxism so fast, and I want to make sure everybody recognizes it. That we can. I mean, we got to recognize it, and that's the only way to avoid it. Go back to
your text message stuff is literally in everybody's face, and it's going.
Well, they're talking about it. I haven't seen it yet. But
what?
They've talked about it, but I haven't seen it yet, or maybe it's already been taken place and it's invisible. I don't realize what I haven't received, so maybe that's already happened.
They're saying that the text that they don't want you will. The part of the strategy is to just make them disappear, but they'll also do a political text pushing, let's say, vaccines. Hey, get out! Oh, they're rioting in France.
For what?
The prime minister said we're going to force you to take the vaccine. And they have double the number of unvaccinated people in France that won't take the vaccine. They won't do it. Said, we're going to force you. And they're rioting there in France over that. And that's a gag order also.
Gosh, that's nice.
You know who goes around that stuff? Tucker Carlson. Most of his news doesn't come off of the Associated Press.
Comes out of Europe?
Actually, that's the link. The definition of Associated Press is that underground cable that goes from New York all the way into England and France under the ocean. Well, now we don't need it with satellites, but
no.
The headquarters of news is still right there, and they're standing there at the Associated. Well, you can say this, you can't do that. Here's your gag order.
I appreciate the call, Mike.
Hey, you have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. I didn't have to hang up on him anyway. He was okay. Hey, talk about the vaccine and all that kind of stuff. And Edward sent me this, but cruise lines are now hiking fares for unvaccinated passengers. You pay more if you haven't been vaccinated. There's a cost difference. I don't get a lot of details on it yet, but...
Well, that doesn't affect me anyway.
Yeah, because you don't take cruises.
I don't take cruises.
We'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
It is warm and muggy as we get going on this Monday morning, and we have the possibility of rain. It's only a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, though, today. Otherwise sunny, 107 the high. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and known for guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith from the Weather Channel.
In today's Ag Business Update from AgNet West, Bayer's Grants for Ag initiative is now open. More after this.
AgNet West Radio Network, your trusted agriculture news provider for the state of Arizona, bringing local, statewide, and national headline news right to you on this radio station. Let our team of Danielle Leal,
Budget revisions put surplus to good use for agriculture,
and Brian German,
Salmonella outbreak report points to adjacent land use.
Keep you informed here, weekdays over the radio airways, on our Farm City Newsday podcast, or online at agnetwest.com.
Bayer's Grants for Ag Initiative program is now accepting applications. Since 2015, Bayer has offered a program to help researchers both financially and scientifically navigate innovation to take on challenges within the ag industry. This year's focus is on sustainable food systems. In a statement, Phil Taylor, who's the Open Innovation Lead for the Crop Science Division at Bayer, says, quote, "Our 2020 Grants for Ag program exceeded our expectations in attracting top proposals across the range of R&D activities." He added, "At Bayer, we promote the responsible use of the world's resources. So this year, our Grants for Ag program will support those commitments to advance a more sustainable food system by highlighting projects in that area." In addition to receiving a grant, typically between $5,000 and $15,000, applicants will work alongside a Bayer scientist to guide their project. The program is highly competitive. Last year's program awarded 24 grants after receiving more than 600 submissions from 39 countries around the world. Overall, in the last 6 years, more than 100 grants have been given. If you'd like to submit an application for a project grant, the deadline is August 31st. For more information, you can visit www.media.bayer.com and search Grants for Ag. Reporting for AgNet West Radio Network, I'm Danielle Leal.
Navigating HR issues can be time-consuming and extremely expensive. Make sure your ag operation is managing employees responsibly with AgSafe's Agricultural Human Resources Certificate Program. The online program is a self-paced course that focuses specifically on agricultural human resources and helps manage the human and legal risk of the industry. Through grant funding, the program is being offered for just $50 through August. Visit agsafe.org/AGHR to register today. That's agsafe.org/AGHR.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Retail sales on the rise in June. Joe Biden mandates low-flow shower heads. New Jersey town bids farewell to iconic Oreo cookie plant. Those stories next. I'm Lou Dobbs, and as you know, my friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the new Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike found the world's best cotton, called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want to sleep on anything else. Giza Dream Sheets come in a variety of sizes and colors. Mike is making a special offer for my listeners. You will receive 2 for 1 low price plus free shipping. Call 1-800-977-9152. Use the promo code DOBBS. Go to mypillow.com and click on the Radio Listeners Square and use promo code DOBBS. Make sure you use the promo code DOBBS. Retail sales in June rose 0.6%. That is, Americans spent more on dining out, clothing, and consumer electronics. Today's Commerce Department report surprised Wall Street, where analysts had expected a slight drop. Sales were up at bars and restaurants, but furniture stores and car dealerships both with declines. President Biden reversing a Trump-era order that allowed heavy-flowing shower heads in homes and hotels. On Wall Street today, stocks closed lower. The Dow Jones Industrial's down 300 points. End of an era today in Fairlawn, New Jersey. A Nabisco plant shut down after 63 years in operation. Please join me 3 times each weekday for my updates from the Salem Radio Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you, and Mel's in studio.
Yep.
And I have a phone call. You're on the air.
Morning, Mr. Russ.
Well, good morning.
Uber Mike here once again.
What's going on in Uber world, buddy?
Oh, it's been busy.
Good.
It's been a good couple of weeks. Anyways, I got a potential scoop here for you.
All right.
It's a story that I'll need you to verify, check into, use your contacts, see what you can find out. But I think it should go viral, if not at least national.
All right.
It's regarding the handling of illegal immigration. Have you heard what's going on at the old Hunter Steakhouse?
No.
How about the Wingate Hotel?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know which hotel it was that they're using, but yeah, I know they're using a hotel.
Yeah, they're on Hotel Hill, the Wingate. Whole thing's booked up by the government. And let's just say, heard it from a friend, but a very reliable friend, did a food delivery on one of the apps and found out that, the restaurant has been closed for a while, but the government is renting it out to use the kitchen to prepare food for...
Oh, in the Hunter Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Oh.
And using our, money, and apparently the taste of these folks they're kind of picky eaters.
Oh, really?
They tried giving them like peanut butter sandwiches and things. Anything they don't like, they just leave out in the hallway and they won't eat. And so they've had to open this kitchen to prepare their home cooked,
wow.
country of origin foods.
They must not be very hungry. Yeah.
Using our tax dollars to support all this. Kind of irritating, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know they're doing something with the hotel, but I didn't know about the Hunter Steakhouse. But I'll find out.
Check it out for us, buddy.
You got it, buddy. Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye. Yeah, I guess Uber Eats is doing deliveries, huh? That's kind of nice. The Los Angeles went back to requiring masks. You knew that, right? They said they're going to wear a mask, even if you've been vaccinated, even if you've had the disease, even if it doesn't make sense, because we're following the science. Well, the science tells you no. Yeah. They don't say we follow the science as much as they used to on some items.
Well,
because they're not.
Because they know that they're not.
Yeah, they're not. July 17th, Newsom issued a guidance for school reopenings during the pandemic, which stated that in-person learning would only be allowed if a number of criteria were met. At the same time, vast majority of state publics and private K-12 schools did not meet the measures and would have to allow in-person instruction to resume. Well, they're not meeting it, which, he put a lot of criteria on it about vaccination, wearing a mask. And if you have a doctor's excuse that you can't wear a mask, that's fine. You just can't come to school. You have in-home learning. They have an option for you. They say there's a rapid rise in the Delta variant. Let me talk about that. The rapid rise in Delta variants is true, of course, because that's just a normal way that these viruses work. They do mutate or whatever. And it's slightly changed. So the new virus out there, the strong one, is the Delta, which is a lot less terminal and a lot less putting you in the hospital type virus. So you'll notice, and I like these percentages. In one of them I read there was 70% up. Now, statistics don't lie, but liars use statistics. Well, the fact is it is up 70% depending on what you look at. Mm-hmm. It's not up 70% from February or March or even June or August. June or April. It's up 70% from like last week, Mel.
Yeah.
which was such a low, insignificant number. To be up 70% is not a big deal. Like in the state of Arizona, even, we're showing an increase in the number of infections, which is higher, but it's still in the below 300 versus thousands, multiple thousands just a few months ago. And it's up from where it was at 200 or 250, which is still, they're still low numbers.
Yeah.
And the deaths really haven't moved. We've been in the state of Arizona hovering right around 10, up to 12, down to 9, 11, 8.
Yeah.
And I'm talking 7-day averages, not whatever. Still staying the same. Even though the number of infections are going up, it's not as deadly as what they're telling you. Plus, a lot of asymptomatic stuff, and people that even had the shot can have the virus in their system because, according to Dr. J, we're swimming in viruses every day.
Sure.
It's all there. It doesn't mean it's creating a whole lot of infection because it can't multiply like it was. So it's really contained, although you could have some virus in you.
Sure.
You're not going to get sick or even know you're sick in a lot of cases.
Yeah, well, that's, look, stuff's floating around in the air. If you're breathing, you're gonna suck some of it in, whether you want to or not.
But the fact that the city of Los Angeles saying wear a mask anyway because why? What's the science behind it? It doesn't work.
To me, it's just a matter of control.
It is a matter of control, and I think that you end up staying at home. So you're not out in public. It doesn't work, or maybe it keeps you at home because nobody wants to put the thing on. Maybe that's it. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, Russ.
Good
Mel,
morning.
how are you?
Good.
Science, all right? It comes up let me turn my radio down. I can't.
All right.
All right, now, I'd like to make a point here if I can and tie it together, what's happening. Here's what's going on. I'm hearing people backing up on this, Russ. I'm hearing things like, well, they haven't, I haven't accepted it yet. They haven't convinced me yet, et cetera, et cetera. True science doesn't contradict God's word.
I agree.
Yep.
We need to get that out there because here's what's really going on. And that is these philosophers that I mentioned the other day, these sophists, these learned, skillful disputers that present their deceptive arguments, elaborate but deceptive. They are attacking God's existence and ownership. That's what's really going on, and His plan for mankind. And they're attacking man created in God's image, Genesis 1:27, male and female. That's the kind of science that we're seeing today that we're up against. All right, and some of these scientists have a lot not yet acknowledged. In genetics, the monkey versus man leads straight to evolution, which leads straight to atheism. Anybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Now, Greta Thunberg, I call her Thornburg. Okay, they're attacking the earth. God knew what He was doing in being our Creator, and this earth is firmly established until His set time that the Lord comes again. He laid the foundations of the earth so it won't be moved. Psalms 104:5. I think Greta Thunberg would be glad to hear that. All right. But here's the thing. The earth God gave to the children of men. He gave it to mankind as a dwelling place. All right. And He gave man dominion over the earth. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. Now, they're attacking God's ownership, God's existence, man created in God's image, male and female, all right? They're attacking the sanctity of life, Russ, because the sanctity of life, whoever sheds man's blood by man shall his blood be shed, is tied to directly, for in the image of God he made man. These are tied together. Abortion's murder. Now, if you're going to attack the sanctity of life, people, you're attacking motherhood. And man, are they? Yep. If you're going to attack motherhood, you're attacking childbearing. Just abort those babies. Discard the part. Sell the part. If you're attacking motherhood and childbearing, you're attacking marriage as God ordained it, male and female. All right. And monogamy and faithfulness in the marriage relationship. And overall, all right, you're attacking what God had to say about eternity and man's soul and death, and where the spirit returns at death, and it returns to God for judgment. That's what we're really up against. When you hear somebody say, well, they haven't convinced me yet, they're backing up. They're backing up. They want them to think that, oh, you know what, all this LGBTQ, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Well, you heard the gay song, and I did too. We're coming after your children. We all heard it. They're coming after your children. And not only that, but you look at what they're doing to our society, and everybody's running around, I can't figure out what's going on. I can't figure out what's going on. How would you like to be in Australia and be a part of the Australian Breastfeeding Association and be forced to help gay trans men on their little chest feeding journey?
No.
Yeah.
Did you read about that?
I did. But no, I wouldn't want to help.
Yeah, and they said enough's enough. They said we're not doing it. They finally put their foot down, but they're forcing them to do that.
Oh,
so
geez.
this is what we're against, people. And I want to say it again. True science does not contradict God's word. And here's your attack in our society. It's against God. Don't think it's not. It's against his ownership, his existence. It's against man as God created man. It's against this earth. It's against the sanctity of life. It's against motherhood. It's against childbearing. It's against marriage, monogamy and marriage and faithfulness. And it's against eternity, and that is where man's spirit goes at death. And that's what it's all about, guys. You guys have a good day.
Me too. But other than that, Bob, I have no problem with it. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
When it's hot, the last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you warm and comfortable quickly. Call 855-1-HOUR for a free service call with completed repair. Don't forget, we're
always on time or you don't pay in time. Always on time or you don't pay.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Great news for people who receive WIC benefits. The Arizona WIC program is increasing your benefits to $35 per month to buy more fruits and vegetables. Now you can buy even more sweet potatoes, bag salads, oranges, apples, and so much more with your Arizona eWIC card. Did you know that canned frozen fruit and vegetables can be stored for months and are easy to add to your favorite meals? If you have any questions, visit azwic.gov or call 1-800-252-5942 to find out more about this change. This institution is an equal opportunity provider.
Wokeness is destroying America. In just a few months, Biden has taken America from energy independent to gas running out. And now most of us are paying 50 to 75% more at the pump. Arizona, blue ain't your color. This is Dr. Bob Branch with the Power of Fives. Conservative candidates will need an army of volunteers to make this state red again and to defeat wokeness. Please go to thepoweroffives.com today to find out how to volunteer.
Are you struggling to find quality employees? Tired of placing the same old Sunday classifieds or getting lost in the online job boards and getting the same results? Then you need to call us today at 344-4980 and put radio to work for you. It's fast. Place an ad today and have it on air tomorrow. Whether you're looking for hourly workers or to fill highly specified job descriptions, placing an ad on radio will help you fill these positions quickly. Call 344-4980 today and put radio recruitment to work for you.
The Border Report brought to you by RV World, located on Gila Ridge Road. Exit Interstate 8 on Araby Road, then head west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. RV World, Yuma's premier recreational vehicle dealer since 1991, offering a large selection of new and used RVs. Wait times now for passenger vehicles in the standard lanes at our selected ports of entry. Longest wait, Calexico West, an hour now with 8 lanes open. It's 45 minutes with 2 lanes open at both San Luis and Calexico East. Algodones, 30-minute wait, 2 lanes open. For detailed up-to-the-minute wait times for the ready lanes, century lanes, commercial traffic, and pedestrians, go to our station website link or bwt.cbp.gov. bwt.cbp.gov.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you, and Mel's in studio. Okay, Mel, I've got an article for you. I forgot about it, but I had your name on it.
Oh, really?
Because I knew you would be an expert on this, or at least have some input.
Now I'm scared.
Biden administration invites the UN experts on racism to visit the United States, which I think is probably not a bad idea. Okay, I do think it's a bad idea.
Well, who does he determine these experts are?
Oh, the United Nations is going to do that. I'm sure they're going to get some people from China and from Saudi Arabia and some other racist countries.
It's like he wants the United Nations to investigate into America's history of racism and
correct.
Things like that.
In an effort to address racial injustice and inequity.
Around the world, yeah.
And we're going to turn it over to the Human Rights Commission, who also has states like Cuba, Venezuela,
Libya. Yeah.
Get Libya to tell us about human rights and all that. But Biden's administration's serious about it. That's what they're doing.
Yes. It's another reason.
They're going to bring the United Nations in. Why don't we bring the United Nations in to check our voting?
Well, the United Nations is... I've never had any use for as an organization anyway.
Oh, no, you're not a big fan of the United Nations.
I never have been a fan. Yeah. And in fact, I've gotten into some pretty heated arguments with a few folks over that. But they have done nothing positive that I can see. Their idea of keeping the peace in some areas was, well, we'll go in and pick a side and just and annihilate the other side. Okay, we brought peace.
Yeah, everybody did that was fighting.
Of course, we killed half the population, but boy, it's peaceful now.
Anthony Blinken, who's the Secretary of State, said responsible nations must not shrink from scrutiny of their human rights record. Rather, they should acknowledge it with the intent to improve. I urge all UN member states to join the United States in this effort and confront the scourge of racism, racial discrimination, and xenophobia because when all people, regardless of their race or ethnicity, are free to live up to their full potential, our collective security is strengthened. What a bunch of crap.
Wow.
And they talk about our racial issues here. Unlike China, which has one race. I don't know how they do that. How you have a whole country has one race. When you see the Olympics and the Chinese delegations marching, it's 100% Chinese.
Yes.
You see ours, we're a melting pot.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. That's right.
So we should be congratulated, not scrutinized and demonized.
By people who are, in fact, demons.
Correct. Absolutely. You heard about the George Floyd, and I should say St. George Floyd. The memorial got hit by lightning and blew up.
Lightning, yes. A little bit of poetic justice there.
Blew the wall down and all that kind of stuff. If that wasn't a message, I don't know what is. And no, he's not up for sainthood. He's a thug. They say was murdered by a police officer, which shouldn't happen.
No.
But to make him a saint over it, that's crazy.
Well, everybody needs a martyr.
I guess, but he's not an idol. He shouldn't be. But
he shouldn't be. But
you got statues of great men that have been torn down in recent years. I mean, just ripped down, ripped out of the ground, and let's say destroy their history because they had a flaw in their character, and yet we put George Floyd up as a representation of sainthood.
And he had a rap sheet.
Oh yeah, too long to read.
Too long to
My show's not long enough. But all upside down, and yet that memorial had been vandalized too, and of course that was a big deal. And how dare they? Yeah. Let's go vandalize George Washington.
Yes.
Which is really
Pull
crazy.
down the statue of Ulysses Grant.
Right.
Bunch of phonies.
Well, you know who's buried in Grant's tomb, right?
Yes.
Grant.
And his wife.
I don't know. I don't know why. Oh, that was one of those questions on the test you couldn't fail.
Yeah. His wife's there also.
Is that right? I didn't know that. I don't think I've been to Grant's tomb.
Me either.
Oh, I don't know how I got it right on the test. Chicago violence, at least 7 killed, 55 shot this weekend. Kind of a slow weekend.
Yeah, well, you know.
Only 55 shot.
Everybody's got to have a down day once in a while.
I mean, I'm really amazed by the marksmanship. I mean, 55 shot and only 7 killed, that's not good. You know, someone's just not practicing.
Evidently.
Oh, well, a lot of these shootings were sprayed bullets out of cars.
Somebody gets a car. Yeah, they see a crowd of people and they just start shooting bullets.
Yeah.
They're young.
It's just so there's a lot of kids and stuff involved in these things. Marshawn Feltus, and one of the residents working to help improve violence in the area, said he heard the shots ring out. It's so devastating that these get-togethers are turning into mass shootings. And it seems to be more of a common occurrence no matter where throughout the city. But when young and older people alike are partying, it seems to be inevitably turn into some type of mass shooting, which is very disturbing. It seems to be open season, that people are taking into their hands, that they're just going to open up on crowds. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
People driving by, shooting into crowds. So, yeah, the kill rate isn't as high as a percentage because they just shoot into crowds and hoping to cause panic, terror, you know, those kind of things.
And that's what they do. And for what? You know,
Mel, I don't know the reason.
What's their reason? I mean,
just a bunch of thugs that think it's socially acceptable. They can't get caught. You get caught with a gun, they let you go.
It's the dues you have to pay in order to get into the club, or what? You know, what a bunch of nonsense.
And they want to make more laws on handguns and guns in general. These guys are breaking all the laws. Laws don't matter at this point.
That's you know.
They got to start enforcing some of them.
Blaming the gun for a murder is like blaming the fork because you're overweight. You know, I mean, it's not.
But
the fork's fault.
It's always gun violence. It's not people who are violent. It's guns violence.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, Penn State is going to remove another icon from their campus.
Okay.
They're going to remove the Fidel Castro quote.
Are they? Well, what do you know?
Wow, it's not even a statue. It's just some kind of quote on the campus. And it was one student that brought it up, an Eric Suarez. And he reached he asked for a social media outcry earlier this week after tweeting an image of the Fidel Castro quote. He says, I wasn't expect to see in Penn State a quote from a dictator that had been repressing the people of Cuba for more than 6 decades and who was the inspiration for the regime that is repressing my country right now. He's not from here. He's from Venezuela. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of feelings in that moment because I love my school. My school has given me a lot of opportunities, and I have a deep connection with it. Watching a display of Fidel Castro quote hit me hard and is very shocking to me.
You know, if Don Shooter pointed this out one time, walk around Gila Ridge High School.
Uh-huh.
They have different quotes from different people on the walls, you know. Many of them are from people that I would not, along the lines of Castro.
Oh, really?
Yes. That I would think that I would find objectionable, I think, to give any credence to anything these people had to say. There's a lot of good folks, but there's an awful lot of not so good.
I wonder who decided to do that.
I have no idea.
Well, it wasn't a quote to, well, maybe if it's put in the area there around the school, it's just.
In fact, I mentioned it to one of the members of the school board at dinner one night.
Uh-huh.
When she was a member.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't particularly care for some of that. She said, well, she said she didn't even know that was going to be on there, but there it was.
And that's at Eel Ridge?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to walk around now.
Walk around and you'll see. There's a lot of good ones, but there's a couple of them in there that the author of those
I may have a problem with.
The author of those quotes is someone that you would not particularly hold up to as a good example for the people.
We'll have to take a look. With that, Mel, we're out of time. I'm kicking you out.
Okay.
I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see Mel on Wednesday, AM 560, KBLU.
And he looks at her and says, hey, darling,